Hey guys, I'm Greg. Welcome to Gregsbeerreviews today. Let's go see what's in the fridge today, guys. Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. We're going to re-review the Maine Beer Company King Titus. I reviewed this a year or two ago. It was review number 1299 the first time I reviewed it. And we're over the 2060 mark now, so probably closer to the 280 by the time you see this. And Rico sent it to me, so Rico, thanks a bunch, my brother, for sending it to me. I've enjoyed pretty much everything these guys up in Maine Beer Company, and they have actually sent me beers before too. So especially some of the ones I can't get. If you can get your hands on the lunch and the dinner versions of Maine Beer Company's beers, especially if you're a hophead, they are delicious. I have seen one of them down here, but not both of them. They usually send a lot of the other stuff that they brew down here. And the other stuff like the lunch and dinner, they save for themselves up there. But this is a King Titus. It's a porter, and it does have the date on it. It says here February 9th of 2016, and it is a 7.5%er. I don't have the IBUs on this. This is our take on an American Robust Porter. Dark, thick, chewy, chocolatey, and of course generously hopped. The vitals, the colors, dark chocolate, ABV is 7.5. American 2-row caramel, 40 liter. Lovabond caramel, 80 Lovabond. Munich 10 Lovabond. Chocolate roasted wheat, flaked oat hops, Centennial, and Columbus. So, a lot of very nice ingredients there to make this wonderful beer. Like I said, this is the 2016 review of this. Probably been about 2 years ago since I reviewed it, so it's been a while. So I'm glad I got my hands on this from Rico. So thanks again. Read through the commercial description. It says here cuisines: barbecue, cheeses, buttery brie, Gouda, Havarti, Swiss. And since it is a porter, it goes well with chocolate dishes. And the meat is beef, smoked meat, and grilled meat. Glass for a pint, back in 9-tumbler mug, style Sidell. I'm going to use my favorite glass, the solid beer glass. It says here not recommended for extended cellaring, but I can't think of any reason why you could not sell this beer for a little while, 3 to 5 years, or maybe even a little longer. It isn't brewed with coffee or anything like that, so I would think you could save this for a while if you wanted to. Maybe want to do a vertical, 2 different years, or whatever that way. So, yeah, very nice. And they do this in a little bit bigger bottle than a typical 12-ounce bottle. Let's see if it says here, 1 pint, 9 fluid ounces. So, a little bit bigger bottle than your typical bottle has. And so it may be a little more expensive than your 12-ounce bottle because it's a bigger bottle. Somewhere in between the small bottle and the great big bottle. But pint 9 fluid ounces, 16 ounces in the pint 9, so that's 25. So they're saying more, is that 25 fluid ounces? That's more than a 22-ounce bottle. It doesn't look like it to me, but I'm no mathematician, so y'all probably know that by now. Math was not my strong subject in school. Recess, lunch, that was my strong subject. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk about, so without me babbling on, let's get it on. Let's get the cap off this bad boy. We'll see what the 2016 version brings to the table. Nice little hiss on that. And it's probably enough to share, which I'll probably end up doing. And let's not pouring a massive head, so let's kick it up a notch here and see if we can get us a finger or so of head on the back end. Yeah, I figured we probably could. Yeah, about 2 fingers of head on an aggressive back end pour. Over into the light. Not a lot through the big ball part. A little bit of red ruby tinges around this little thin part of the glass. Good looking dark beer. Nice tight bubbles around the outside of the glass. A little bit bigger bubbles on the top from that aggressive pour. Still kind of creamy around the outside of the glass. Let's get a nose on it. Cocoa, roasted malt, chocolate. Maybe some slight hints of some dark fruit in there, but it's right out of the fridge. And we're going to let it warm up to room temperature before I come back for the final chug. And usually those flavors come out a little bit more once you do that. And I always do. Smells very cocoa chocolatey too. Yeah. That's fine. Cheers everybody. Cheers Rico. Wonderful aroma. Nice sweetness to it. I don't think they use lactose in the brewing of this. Very nice. Very, very nice. Roasted malt, chocolate, cocoa. Maybe a slight hint of maybe some molasses in there. Does have a nice sweetness to it. A little on the dry side. And like I said, I don't think they use lactose in the brewing of this beer because a lot of times that'll lead to a little bit of sweeter back end taste and stuff. So I don't think they did. Awesome beer. Very, very tasty. Bottled on date, right on the side. ABV written here. Doesn't have the IBUs, but this style of beer, it's not super critical. And like I said, I don't have that written on either Rate Beer or Beer Advocate, so not bitter. Very easy drinking. Alcohol is super well hidden. Very well made beer, guys. So let me pour her a glass, what's left in the bottle, and go sip on this for a while. Might fire up a stogie to go with this while I'm sipping on it and waiting for it to come up to room temperature, and I'll come right back. Alright guys, I'm back. I'm sipping on it for about 35-40 minutes. Other half loved it, of course. Very tasty addition of a regular porter, not a bourbon barrel aged or anything like that. Nothing's been infused with coffee or chocolate or cocoa nibs or anything like that. It's a great tasting beer. 7.5% alcohol in this beer. Very tasty. A nice, easy drinking. Alcohol is very well hidden. Date on the bottle. It doesn't have the IBUs written on it, but it does have the date and the ABV written on the bottle. So very well done. They do some really tasty stuff at Maine Beer Company, and they're out of Freeport, Maine. Very tasty. Very nice. Guys, I reviewed this a couple years ago. This is a 2016 re-review of this beer. And it's just as tasty as it was then. I'm not picking up anything different or anything better or worse. They've got a great recipe here, and they're continuing on in the tradition. Very nice. Final chug. Like I say all the time when I have these darker beers, the only way this could be any better is to put it in a bourbon barrel or some kind of oak barrel or something, just to get a little bit of extra oomph, whether it's bourbon or scotch or whatever. I mean, they put them in wine barrels and rum barrels and everything now, so just kicks it up a notch. Just a little additional flavors to that. Usually it raises the ABV up a little bit too, from the alcohol that's been in the barrel before leaching into the beer while it's in there. So very tasty, guys. 9 out of 10 for me on this one. I think that's what I gave it a couple years ago when I reviewed it. If I was putting a numeric rating on this, guys, it'd probably be a 98 or a 99, somewhere in that area. Very tasty. Not quite to the 10. And if you tell me, oh man, that's a 10 beer, you're crazy. Wouldn't argue with that. It is very tasty, very well made, very nicely done. So 98, 99, somewhere in that area for me. Very tasty. Over to Beer Advocate, 92 is what they give it. I think it's a little better than that, than a 92. And over to Rate Beer says 99 overall and 100 in the style. So 92, let's just say 99 for shits and grins for me and 99 from them. It's pretty damn close. It's kicking the door down to be a 10. And like I said, if you think it's a 10, I wouldn't argue with that. It's pretty damn tasty. I would like to see I'd like to see a bourbon barrel aged version of this. That would be awesome. That would really be tasty. And probably get a 10 too, because I like that little extra oomph sometimes. So very tasty. So if you've had this one from Maine Beer, this is their King Titus. Very tasty. A great beer if you can get your hands on it. Like I said, I think this beer personally would age for 3 to 5 years or maybe a little longer. I can't think of any reason why you couldn't. So it'd be nice to do a vertical maybe of a 2012 or a 2016 or a 2020 side by side to see how the older beer comes together and combines and gets more complex over time, if it will. Be a nice thing to do. I'd like to do that one day on some of the beers. I think it would definitely be a difference between one and the other. Letting it set in the bottle for several years, 3 to 5 years, be a good one. Have one that's fresh or 5 years old, and a fresh one, do a side by side vertical, just to see what the difference is, if there is any. I think it probably would be. All right, guys. If you've had it, let me know what you think of it, and come on back tomorrow. Let's see what we can dig out of the fridge. Might dig out something really tasty if I can find something. Come on back. I see that.